Alex Traiman with us now, CEO of the Jewish News Syndicate. Alex, welcome as always, and thank you. What can you share about the latest on these drafts for a ceasefire and the impact it may or may not have on hostage negotiations?
Well, very important that the United States vetoed the resolution from Algeria calling for an immediate ceasefire. Israel is demanding that any ceasefire resolution or any brokered ceasefire, that should include the return of the hostages. So the United States is on board with that message. And if you look at the alternative draft of the resolution that the United States has put forward, it's calling for a temporary ceasefire at the practical time. It's not calling for an immediate cessation. They understand that Israel has defeated 75% or more of Hamas's organized battalions inside the Gaza Strip, is not going to stop until it finishes off the job and completes 100% of those battalions. And Israel's looking at a deal that would seek to return all the hostages and possibly give Hamas's senior leadership the opportunity to surrender and to go into exile. And that would be the temporary ceasefire. And then Israel would have the opportunity in the months and weeks ahead to go and clean up any remaining terrorists that might still be in the Strip.
The other thing, Alex, is Israel has ordered the evacuations to happen in Gaza, in the southern part of the Strip. Is that happening, and what are some of the logistical challenges in trying to get more than 1 million people out of Rafah, for example?
Yes, so Israel's now putting plans into place to give those that are in Rafah the opportunity to move slightly to the north and a little bit to the west of where they're staying right now. And then only after those steps have been taken would Israel launch its ground operation in Rafah. Now, the problem with that is that when Israel told Gazan residents to move from the north to the south, along with the civilians also went terrorists dressed as civilians and combatants dressed as civilians, and even hostages were smuggled along these humanitarian routes. So, that's definitely one of the big risks here. Of course, you want to get as many civilians out of the way, but you're also giving a lifeline to Hamas terrorists that will take advantage of the humanitarian options.
And what are these people returning to who evacuated from the north to the south and then now may move again?
Well, they don't have a good place to return to. It's really just about getting them out of harm's way at this point. Estimates suggest that maybe 50 to 70% of all buildings in Gaza and in the northern sections have been destroyed. So many Gazans that have moved don't have a place to go. But the problem here also is that once the IDF moves out of an area, we're starting to see how Hamas operatives go back and retake over these areas. And there's still tunnel infrastructure there. There's still weapons there. So we're starting to see skirmishes breaking out again in areas that the IDF had conquered earlier on in this war that they now have to double back. And we're starting to see firefights in the north as well.
And real quick, the hospitals in southern Gaza, they have been a focus for weeks, and we're hearing that some are barely functioning. What more can you share on that and the importance of those facilities?
Well, you can imagine that a hospital would be super important at a time of war when tens of thousands of people have been killed and many, many more injured. But unfortunately, Hamas has been using just about every hospital in the Gaza Strip as a control and command center, as a weapons storage center. We've seen over and over again how the IDF goes in, finds weapons in hospitals, finds shafts to tunnels directly beneath and going into hospitals. And so, unfortunately, the IDF has had to go into hospitals. But once a hospital is used for terrorism, it loses its protection it's no longer protected under international law.
Alex Traiman, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Marni.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.